World Cup qualifiers media call with our squad announcements. Thank you everyone for your patience. I trust that's now. Canadian Press, Neil Davidson, followed by Derek at Post Media.
Thank you, Richard. Hello, John. I hope you and the family are doing well.
Hey, Neil. All good.
You said right at the beginning that even if Canada had to go the long route in qualifying with the various CONCACAF qualifying rules, that even if Canada had to go the long way, what a story, what an adventure it could be. You're nearing the conclusion of that journey now. Can you just tell us what the mood is going into these 3 games?
I don't think anyone wants it to end. We've really enjoyed the experience. I mean, if you'd asked this, was I enjoying it as I was entering the stadium in Haiti? No. But when you look back, there's been some amazing moments that I think have shaped the team, and as a staff, as a coach, as a player group, we've grown massively through this period. So it's been 17 games now on this journey, and 3 left to go. So there'll be more growth in these next 3 games. I think this is probably the toughest schedule in terms of heading into Costa Rica in a must-win match for them at altitude and heat. Back to Canada against a team like Jamaica with their quality that can play free without the burden of qualifying. And then we're off to Panama, who will be in another must-win game. So that's what you get out of bed for. It's what we've hoped for, that we play these type of matches and can just keep writing new chapters in this story.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Derek, please.
Hey, John, good to see you.
Hey, Derek.
I just want to ask you about finishing this off strong. Like, you guys have been playing so well. How important is it for this team to finish this off strong, and if possible, not just qualify, but qualify in that first spot?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. We set internal goals right at the beginning of this campaign, even right at the beginning 4 years ago when we first got together as a group. It was pretty clear that we wanted to pioneer in so many ways, and a big part of that was creating new Canada as a football nation. And we know qualifying for a World Cup is the most important part of that event. But there are other things, there are other goals that are important to us. But I keep saying this, Derek, it comes back to 1 game at a time. We've got Costa Rica sitting right in front of us. That match is everything in this moment. We've got our goals, we will keep them internal. And when we achieve them, we'll celebrate. But that 90 minutes of football in Costa Rica is all we've got on our mind. Just let's get it done.
Just a quick follow-up. I was wondering if you had a chance to talk to Alfonso. I know he's still a couple of weeks away from playing with Bayern. I think they were talking about maybe getting into the Champions League game in mid-April. But have you had a chance to talk to him, and how's he doing?
I mean, he's calm. I think as a young man, he's been frustrated, that's for sure. He's an energetic guy, and he's been told to sit and do nothing for 8-9 weeks. Excited to be back, I know that, but realistic as well about his recovery and road to recovery. So I think for all of us, we were desperate to have him in, to be part of this, to get him on the pitch, even for a few minutes, to help him experience all the effort he put in over these 4 years. But there's bigger things ahead, and I think his health, anything around the heart, it's so precarious. I think all of us just want to make sure he comes back to full health, and the best place for him to be is with Bayern Munich and with the medical people there that have managed his recovery this whole period of time. There may be an opportunity, and we're working with Bayern to see if we can have him in and around the environment at some stage, but again, his recovery will come first.
John, good luck in this one.
Thank you.
Hi, John. Thank you for taking the time today. I was curious, one of the big names obviously that stands out right now is Ismail Kone. I was wondering what your impressions were of him and why you felt he was ready to take a step up into a senior team call-up.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think with Ismail, the last 4 or 5 weeks have been a bit of a whirlwind from playing at a variety of different levels, from CONCACAF Champions League, MLS, in some big venues in front of big crowds and big moments. One thing that I've seen consistently is just a fearless mindset. And I think the game this weekend, he was able to show that sort of resilience that I think is really important to be part of this team, where you can make a mistake and then come back and produce a performance like he did. So if you're good enough, you're old enough. In my book, I've always tried to ensure that young players that would deserve it got those opportunities, and he's been selected because I think he can contribute across these 3 games.
Hey, John, there's always questions coming into a squad announcement about dual nationals and bringing players in for the first time. But I think, relatively speaking, the squad you have here and the squad you have compared to past windows has been relatively unchanged. How important is that continuity for you, and to make sure that the players that have been there kind of the longest, I guess, keep coming back?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and it's one that we deliberate 4 weeks out from the selection. Which players are in form, which players are injured, which players are in rhythm. Is there any new players on the horizon that have earned the opportunity? So all of these conversations happen to the nth degree, but the simplicity for me, Josh, is there's a group of men that have committed since the beginning of this octagon. Some of them, traveling to Haiti, some of them traveling to Orlando to play Bermuda in March when we had massive COVID risks. Some have been right on the journey since 2018, and others even longer. I think there's a loyalty, there's a loyalty to people who've committed to the journey. There's a loyalty to those players that have showed up every window. And some, they may not have contributed massively on the pitch, but their contribution off the pitch, when people really understand how teams form and team spirit and culture, it's as much about what you do off the field and how you support your teammate and how you show up to training and accept decisions and then stay ready. So there's a group of men that have shown that through this whole period of time. And bringing new guys in, it's always a bit of an unknown quantity, how they're going to react to the stresses, the pressure. So we were pretty committed to test, to do something a bit new with a couple of faces. Bringing Dane Sinclair back was an important decision, given we've had some good experiences with him in the past. And then just to push a little bit to the edges of our comfort zone with bringing young Ismail Kone, who, for me, I haven't seen a profile like that from a midfielder in the time that I've been here. So he's definitely someone that I think can contribute and help this team over 3 games.
Thank you very much. That will wrap up our squad announcement press conference with head coach John Herdman, CONCACAF final round.